if you're that guy and you just came off a draw, I think rematching would be the most competitive thing to do as an athlete. With the Jake Paul situation, it's like, it's a money grab fight.
Davis was in a bit of a hole, and he gets an opportunity to fight Jake Paul for $200 million or whatever. I don't mind it at all. As long as Gervonta Davis comes back to the world of boxing after he gets done with this, hey man, you got your money, no worries.
The highly anticipated clash between Jake Paul and Gervonta "Tank" Davis is drawing near, and both fighters are pushing themselves to the limit. Jake is focusing on building power and strength, while Tank is fine-tuning his speed and knockout precision. With each camp locked in on preparation, the excitement continues to rise as fans eagerly await this headline showdown.
I don't get it.
Yeah. This Santa Cruz out here to catch it. Big down, let it burn, baby, let it burn. Mind over matter, son, mind over matter. Ain't nobody doing no shit like this. Come in the desert. He trying to stay away from the desert. He come in the desert.
Shakur Stevenson recently shared his perspective on the rise of unusual boxing matchups. He explained that while fights like Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis don't truly benefit the sport, a potential showdown between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson is a completely different story. According to Stevenson, both Mayweather and Tyson are legends with established legacies, and if they decide to return for financial reasons, it should not be viewed as damaging to boxing. Instead, he believes such events bring nostalgia and excitement to fans, unlike celebrity-style exhibitions that often feel out of place.
Bad for the sport of boxing.
I mean, I feel like in Floyd and Tyson situation is different than Jake Paul and Buddy. I feel like with Floyd and Tyson, it's like, okay, y'all deserve it. Y'all legends, y'all paid homage, y'all did the most for the sport of boxing already. So you deserve a big payday and be cool. I'm cool with it. I like it. But with Jake and Buddy, I feel like Buddy is participate in the sport of boxing right now, and he just came off a draw his last fight. So if you're a real champion and top level guy that you say you are, which I think you are too, I think you're the truth. But if you're that guy and you just came off a draw, I think rematching will be the most competitive thing to do as an athlete. With the Jake Paul situation, it's like, it's a money grab fight. So to me, it's like some WWE shit.
Yeah, it's a joke. Like, I mean, okay, so he gets this fight with Jake. His value goes up.
No, it doesn't.
You don't? It don't?
Not in the sport of boxing.
You don't
I
think
mean,
he
it may.
The demand more because he's, you know, because when we looked at the was a Floyd and
Just hypothetical. You know, we speak hypotheticals at times, right? You go in there and that big ass nigga knock him the fuck out. I'm just saying hypothetical. Go in there and knock Tank the fuck out.
that big ass nigga being Jake Paul.
Yes.
Okay, just make one.
Knock him the fuck out. Because he's bigger than him.
Yeah.
For one. By chance, it is a fight.
I think the thing is with Buddy and Jake fight, I feel like it's two sides of me with it. Because from a competitive aspect and me being the mentality that I got, I feel as though I probably would have done the rematch. But then from a business aspect, if I would have done the rematch and I did not win the fight, the Jake Paul fight will be a lot less money and a lot less lucrative. So,
You think so?
from a business aspect, I understand that anybody that with a business mind probably would have took that fight for as much money as it was. So I'm a realist. Like, I ain't gonna just bash, bro.
UFC President Dana White gave a straightforward response when asked about the potential fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. White suggested that not many fans are truly excited about the matchup, but admitted it might actually benefit Davis. In recent months, Davis has faced criticism and setbacks outside the ring, which slowed his momentum. Jake Paul, noticing this vulnerable moment, stepped in with a lucrative offer. White acknowledged that while the event is being ridiculed by many, it could still provide Davis with valuable exposure and financial reward. What surprised fans most was White's bold statement that Jake Paul could realistically beat Davis, not because of superior boxing ability, but due to physical advantages. He explained that Paul's size, reach, and strength create challenges that Davis, as a much smaller fighter accustomed to lighter opponents, would struggle with. In White's view, the fight wouldn't come down to skill alone, but to whether Davis could overcome Paul's natural physical edge inside the ring.
Jake Paul to beat Gervonta Davis. This is not a fight that I'm excited for at all. I would rather have Gervonta Davis fighting in a real boxing match against the likes of Lamont Roach, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Emmanuel Navarrete, anybody that is in the 135-pound division and around. That's where I want to see Gervonta Davis fight. However, we live in a world where everybody is trying to do things as big as possible. And the biggest fights possible right now, unfortunately for the sport of boxing, is an exhibition fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. So, I do like it for this reason, though. I like it because it is allowing Gervonta Davis to have a fight that is going to be big and that the mainstream media is going to have to cover, the mainstream media outside the world of boxing. Gervonta Davis has been, without a doubt, blocked, having venues blocked, having fighters, having other promoters paying fighters away to go different directions from Gervonta Davis. So Gervonta Davis was in a bit of a hole, and he gets an opportunity to fight Jake Paul for $200 million or whatever. I don't mind it at all. As long as Gervonta Davis comes back to the world of boxing after he gets done with this, hey man, you got your money, no worries. But you gotta love Dana White having the audacity to pick Jake Paul in this fight.
Former world champion Paulie Malignaggi shared his perspective on the possibility of Terence Crawford facing Jake Paul. Malignaggi praised Crawford as one of the most skilled fighters of this era, but warned that size differences can sometimes outweigh even elite-level talent. He explained that throughout boxing history, many smaller champions have struggled when moving up too far in weight. According to Malignaggi, Jake Paul's natural size and raw punching power could present serious challenges for Crawford. Despite his superior technique and ring IQ for Malignaggi, the question isn't about Crawford's skill, but about the physical limits that every fighter must respect. Boxing remains a sport where size, strength, and durability play a major role. Even someone as sharp, adaptive, and accomplished as Crawford might find it risky to face an opponent who outweighs him so heavily. His take highlights that sometimes, skill alone isn't enough to erase the disadvantages of size.
I think Davis is more to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch a lightweight, can drop a heavyweight. There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks...
The answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah, but if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion in multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Algieri, the champion, even you, Jimmy, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing, and I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned mine?
Analysts reported that organizers were forced to make a significant change after the originally selected venue declined to host the highly publicized fight. Local officials dismissed the matchup as more of a spectacle than a legitimate sporting contest, refusing to give approval. The decision shocked many, especially since the initial location was seen as perfect for drawing a huge audience and generating major revenue. Rather than canceling or delaying, promoters quickly scrambled to secure another site. Within days, a new venue agreed to host, allowing the event to move forward. Still, this sudden switch sparked fresh criticism about the fight's legitimacy. Critics argue that if a prestigious arena turned it down, the contest may be more about entertainment and money than true sporting value. The abrupt relocation has become a story of its own, fueling debate over whether these crossover matchups really belong in boxing. That wraps it up for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates. Until next time,